Alright, let's get started. I do need to make some adjustments. I'm going to take some time to adjust the clothes. I don't remember. I did this from memory. Hey, at least the bow's right. Well, that's okay. I can fix this stuff later. Anyway, it's time to get started. Well, that's okay. I can... Anyway, here we go. Hey, Fart fans. Welcome back. It's Dave Sicily here, and yes, it's time for another round of crazy builds to play through Elden Ring with. And this weekend, I am doing the World of Warcraft Hunter. Yes, last weekend was the Ranger. This weekend, it's the World of Warcraft Hunter. What's the big difference between a Ranger and a Hunter from World of Warcraft? Quite a few things, really. Well, for one thing, they only use bows. Well, no, they also use guns, and they use crossbows, and they, range stuff, and then I know in the later expansions they're allowed to use throwing weapons almost like bows would, but for the most part they use bows. And yes, they did have melee weapons they could use for some minor attacks, but for the most part, bows, and bows. It's a bow build, is what it is. Unless you're playing like some of the really late expansions when they changed survivalists to be more of a melee build, which honestly I actually enjoyed more than the bow builds, but I only played one expansion that had this setup going. Let's change that. So I only played that one expansion. But I'm not considering that whatsoever. No, I am going. Where's my Scorpy? I am going basically just on the basic old school World of Warcraft. So my reference for what abilities to cover, what to try, maybe those... Anyway, my reference for what abilities to try and capture, like what to cover for the class, comes mostly from vanilla World of Warcraft, so if you're hoping for any really wild abilities or any really special things or like really unique spells from late in the game, then from late expansions, then forget it, I'm not doing those. I'm not even going to do the whole like survival spear build thing. I mean, I have a spear, but no, I am not doing any of that late stuff. I'm also, like, unlike Death Knights, I'm also not doing any of the 3 specializations. There are actually 3 Hunter specializations. If you remember, let's see. I think it was Marksman, Beastmaster, and Survival. But really, there was so minor difference between the 3 of them. Like, I don't see much of a point, other than a few key abilities. Beast Mastery, they tried to make more focused on training your pet and giving you more little special abilities, but ultimately used the bow and sent your pet to fight. And then Marksman was more focused on your personal bow abilities, and then Survivalist was like supposedly a 3rd specialization that was not really unique from any other specializations, except Explosive Shot. It was supposed to be more focused on traps and survival stuff, but obviously they couldn't really decide what to do with it because later in the franchise, like, was it Legion? Like, one of the very late expansions, they changed survival to be a melee-centric build, and it was actually pretty fun, honestly. So it just goes to show that it wasn't that different from each other. So basically, what I'm basically going on here is Beastmaster or Beast Mastery and Marksman, and even then I'm not even cover all those special abilities. But no, I was still able to get a bunch of them. So let's see if I can get them all covered here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get everything, but I got a good bunch of them. So anyway, first off, Why this? Well, I wasn't actually planning to do the orc female build. I was just looking for a picture, really, and that was the one that came up. It wasn't my plan, it wasn't my goal, but that's what came up, and then I saw they had the bow. I had the red bow here, the red great bow. I'm like, oh, wow, that looks a lot like the Horde bow. And then, when I was looking through my ability list, because I remember saying, oh, we can't do World of Warcraft Hunter, because you need to be able to summon, like, one animal, like, one strong animal, because that's how World of Warcraft is. You don't have multiple animals, right? And I was thinking, like, a bear or something, but then I remembered, oh, yeah, you got this guy, who appeared all the way over there for some reason. I don't know what he was thinking. Okay, summon here, on this spot in front of me. You summoned over there again. Ah, this is gonna be fun. Anyway, it's the giant scorpion, so there you go. There's my big giant friendly pet. And as we know in World of Warcraft, scorpids were an animal you can tame, and that ended up being sort of a theme here. I'm like, oh well, you know, the orcs tend to. I mean, any hunter could tame a scorpion in World of Warcraft, but it was usually common for the orcs and the trolls to tame them first, because they encountered scorpids really early on. And there were a whole bunch of the Orgrimmar area, a lot of that area. There was a lot of scorpids and type creatures to train, so it was usually one of the first ones we would tame as a hunter. So I realized, I guess I'm doing a Horde hunter. And frankly, I think it turned out okay. I can't do anything about the teeth. And I tried to get, I was trying to match that picture. I mean, it wasn't really a big deal to match that picture. It wasn't really highly important, but, you know, it was my reference. But anyway, that's what I ended up with. I think I need to adjust the clothes a bit more, but this all looks suitably Horde-ish. And I'm going for at least for the first day, I'm going more for, like, early hunter. You know, it's the early part of the game, early part of World of Warcraft, and this was the kind of armor, well, okay. No, actually the armor in that picture, it was more like the champion armor, or some of the PvP armor you get, and you'd be a lot higher than level 1 when you had it. But whatever, I gotta have the cutoff somewhere. I'm not going to be running around in rags, you know, to simulate the level 1 hunter. I mean, unless a lot of people are like, oh my god, yeah, you too, it's like solely level, you know, but, you know, I also don't want to keep changing my armor out like every 10 minutes or so. But anyway, so this is supposed to be like the day 1 type, and I know that, yes, I did play Hunter in World of Warcraft, but I never played it very much. It was very low on my picking order of my ults, so I never really played him for, like, raids or anything like that. Mostly just, like, you know, just some side questing here and there. So I wasn't really aware of any of their, like, late game armors, but I do know that early in Vanilla Warcraft, I think one of their first, like, their big raid armors was like the Drake armor, you know, dragon skin. There's a whole thing with dragon skin. Thankfully, there's dragon skin. There's a dragon skin armor. It's called the Drake Hunter set in Elden Ring. So that'll be for day 2. We'll say there's my raid armor, and for day 3, we'll just have to see. Honestly, I think that Drake armor will be good enough. And now to go over build and stuff and armor and abilities, or at least all the abilities, I was able to get a good many. So unfortunately, because this is don't have the 60 vigor this time, because hunters did not have that much HP. They're more of a squishy class, not that squishy. Well, they were less. It was less so much that they were squishy and more not squishy, and more in the sense that they're very evasive, right? More mine, much more AP, because there's going to be a lot of FP. I decided to have my extra points in endurance, because I do plan to carry a lot of different equipment. Strength and dexterity, because bows are across, very even across the board. Honestly, it's hard to get bonus damage in either of those weapons. And, you know, you saw the bow. I have a whole bunch of bows here, not just the one. I got a whole bunch of animals, except Lieutenant. Why is Lieutenant here? Lieutenant should not be there. That's another thing about World of Warcraft pets. Unlike D&D pets had special abilities too, but the World of Warcraft pets always had like one secondary nifty little ability. So I decided to leave those animals. Like, I could have used them in the Ranger run, but I decided to save them for this because it was more appropriate. I don't know what the Spider Scorpion special. I don't know if it has a special ability. I just like it as a big scorpion, but that sort of thing is definitely appropriate for these other animals. Dean, unlike the Stormhawk, the regular Stormhawk Dean has that buff. The Jellyfish has the poison, although honestly I don't think I'll use it. I just decided to grab them. Rotten Stray has that special, as the Scarlet Rot, even though I likely won't use it. And the Grave Bird has some heavy magic use. So I got some good options for the pets, thankfully. That worked out well. In terms of abilities, let's see what we got here. We have Raptor Strike. Yep, that's Raptor Strike. Actually, it really depended on which class you played. Yes, I know it's called Lion's Claw in Elden Ring, but Raptor Strike, Lion's Claw. Raptor Strike, Lion's Claw. Kind of a synonym. Well, not exactly, but you know what I'm saying. They're kind of the same wording, meaning, and depending on which race you play, the actual attack, what Raptor Strike looked like, would look differently. But it would. I think there was one race that would do this. That would look like that when they used Raptor Strike. We also have Disengage. No, that's a bow. That's the bow again. Which, being represented by Bloodhound Step, it's more of an escape. It's meant to be more as an escape when I'm using this. You also notice I didn't go for the great big gigantic weapons this time. I do have them, but I wasn't sure about using them. I also noticed they were really slow. Actually, how does this work? In the offhand, I want to switch these up to see what this looks like. Still good. Yeah, so also because I'm wearing a lot... See, this armor, because I'm not going for like just leather stuff, I mean, it's not leather stuff, but it's still pretty heavy armor. And then all the different bows. The bows themselves aren't generally that heavy, but they all are. Some of them are, especially if I want to use the heavier weapons. So you'll notice I decided against using the big, even though these big heavy axes, the big heavy lances are definitely more World of Warcraft-y type weapons. I decided to go lighter this time, but we'll see, maybe later I can change them to something more interesting, more fun. The bigger, like the really big weapons, or the really, really fun stuff. We'll see how the endurance goes. Anyway, I got pushed away from the specs. Anyway, strength, dexterity, whatever to round it out. So I got my Bloodhound sets, my Savage Lion's Claw. Those take the place of Raptor Strike, Disengage. I have Enchanted Shot. Make sure I don't use a regular. I have my Enchanted Shot. Let's replace it with Arrow. Enchanted Shot takes the place of Arcane Shot. Now you can Enchanted Shot, Arcane Shot. Again, that synonym thing going on there. And let's see if I can... I don't know if this is necessarily the same, if it counts, but I have my Rain of Arrows. Or at least I will when I equip the right arrows. This is actually, so these arrows are going to be a pretty funny little setup here. But there's Rain of Arrows. And actually I somehow managed to not hit myself at all. Cool. Although I do believe I can also put Rain of Arrows on the Great Bow, so I don't have to use that. Actually, I'm not really sure what the difference is between Radahn's Rain of Arrows or anyone else's. But I got Rain of Arrows for other things. So there you go. I got Rain of Arrows. I also have my traps for Explosive Shot. I got Volcano Pot. Not full Explosive Shot. Explosive Trap. I have Volcano Pot, which, while not exactly the same as the trap was, Explosive Shot actually did a fire damage dot, and that's what the Volcano Pot does. I have my Freezing Trap, which doesn't freeze enemies at all, but that's what I'm using. I don't have enough in this build to have a whole bunch of different spells, so the throwables are going to have to take the place of the traps. I'm sorry, that's just going to have to go. I've already got enough going on here, like, to work in here. I have... What else do I got here? I have my... Ooh, I have to increase arc a little bit. No, that's fine. The Serpent Bow takes the place of Serpent Strike, Serpent Shot. So there's my Serpent Arrows there for Serpent Shot. And And of course, the number one thing any hunter must be able to do, any World of Warcraft hunter must be able to do. Feign death. That's right, we gotta be able to feign death. It will not work one tiny bit, but I just thought it'd be fun to have it. It'd be fun to have the option, even though it will not work one tiny bit. But there it is, that's feign death. And that's pretty much the build. I will probably have to do some refinements for tomorrow night. A couple things I was not able to get in. I decided to go against the Serpent Trap because I too many poison options. I already have the Serpent Strike, and frankly, it's going to work better. And well, actually, no, the pot, maybe the poison pots will work better. But you know, poison strike, poison trap. You know, I figured I didn't want any redundant options, but you know, I can always make them if I need to. Explosive shot, no, I didn't want to bother. It turns out aim shot was harder to find a similar ability. I thought mighty shot would count, but in a way, apparently, enchanted shot kind of works the war like our aim shot does. But then again, you know, mighty shot also just, you know, increases damage. But you know, it's kind of there, so like it's already baked into some of these bows anyway. So it's not like I won't have the option, but you know, there's some abilities. A lot of like the Beast Mastery buffs abilities, I did increase, or I did have the Commander Standard on hand to try and emulate that feel of the buffs. And of course, I've increased all my ranged attack options. I don't know if two-handed sword works with bows when you're two-handing them. I don't think it does, but whatever. I'll just have it there for now until I decide what to do with it. So here's the one ability. So I was able to capture most of the key abilities that they have, like ones you'll generally use most often. The best option I can get for scatter shot. There's no real stunning options in the game. Camouflage, invisibility does not work in PvE, so no point getting into it. And scatter shot, basically, if I used one of the crossbows with the spread ability, but I decided, you know, that's just a little extra. A little bit too much stuff to try and capture in one go, and I decided to go against adding a crossbow or a gun or any extra of those weapons. No, just a bow. No scatter shot. It's not going to make a difference here anyway. I got enough to think about anyway. And the other big one, yes, I said feign death, but the other big one that we all know is Hunter's Mark. So instead of Hunter's Mark, I did get Hunter's Mark to work, but instead of debuffing enemy to do like bonus damage against it, I have this. Now, if you don't know what that means, that is the Golden Great Arrow, which has a fun little side effect. It casts Divine Vow on anyone who if it hits any sorry, words are hard. The Golden Arrow casts Divine Vow, or a lesser version of it, on all nearby allies. Right? So, whatever, if any ally is nearby when it hits, it'll buff them. It's not as strong as, you know, Divine Vow, but it's like 10%. And in some ways, while I'm not technically debuffing an enemy to take more damage, buffing my allies 10% just for hitting a target with an arrow is roughly the same effect. It creates the same effect, right? So I figured that will be the stand-in for Hunter's Mark. I have a lot of shit to deal with in this build, okay? It's going to be interesting trying to get all this stuff in. But now there are actually debuffs. You know, let's just get moving here. Unfortunately, because I'm starting a little late, and because this is not one of my better days, I'm gonna be skipping by pretty much a lot of things to just get to the end, right? Plus, because this is an arcane or archer build, this can turn into a challenge run. I am not confident in my chances of beating anything. Oh God, the fire giant! Oh ho ho, the fire giant! Oh man. And I mean, the cannon was a pain in the ass. That said, this build has some unique, fun qualities that might make Fire Giant more beatable. So what was I saying? So it turns out there are actually abilities in Elden Ring that function exactly like, well, not exactly like Hunter's Mark, but there is something. There are 2 abilities in the game that increase the damage, actually increase the damage an enemy takes by a percentage point and reduces the damage they deal. There's just one problem. These abilities... Okay, let's listen to Millie talk here. Melunia. What's her... Why do I keep forgetting her name? Melina. Okay, moving on. Whoop, let's get rid of this bow. Because it's too big, too out of character. Although I'm probably not going to be using these this early on. I need to use Enchanted Shot and probably the Serpent Bow more early on. I'm going to have to find some way to get all of the abilities in there. Thus the higher endurance. I don't have to be super fast as a hunter. I mean, hunters were actually pretty quick in World of Warcraft, generally. Because of, you know, the aspects and all that. Forget about aspects. There's no way I can do aspects of anything. I can't. There's no ability that increases my foot speed that I'm aware of. Other than the mixed physics to, like, increase my load or decrease my load, but forget the aspects, okay? There's a lot of abilities to deal in the World of Warcraft, so, you know, just be happy I'm able to get so many key ones. So the problem with the 2 abilities that actually function similarly to what nah, don't shoot me. I'm Hunter. I'm practically harmless until I have a pet out. Okay, so the 2 abilities that work like Hunter's Mark are Shriek of Milos and one of the breath spells, one of the dragon breath spells, and hey. You wanted to be a brat, that's what you get. So one of the abilities is the Dragon Breath spells, and try as I might, I just could not see myself either A, shrieking like a crazy person. I know it's an orc, but still. And I have to have the sword, right? I know hunters could use swords, but I'm trying to like specialize here, you know. Make it simple. I didn't want to shriek like a crazy person, even though orcs do shriek a lot. And I didn't want to have a big dragon head appear over my head, even if it did recreate the ability perfectly. I'm sorry, I had to draw the line somewhere. But that's okay. I do have the golden arrows, but I think early on I'm not going to be needing a lot of this stuff. So let's start simple. Early on, what do I have for... the great bow? What am I going to use the great bow for? I got so many different bows. I got a million golem great bows. If you know your stuff, you'll know why. Let's see here. I'm going to try and do this one with just the pet for now. Actually, I need 2 points for this. So we are going to just do the basic setup for now. I am not sure what I'm doing here. I have so many options. This is another reason why I do these first days are sort of just like, you know, get things. You know what? I don't think I'm going to need much more than this. Yep. Okay. Yep. That should be good. That should be good. I mean, first boss, he's gonna be easy. You wanna fight melee, do ya? Okay, yes you do. Oh. Oh crap, I gotta take all those off of mine. Yeah, I can do stuff too. Actually, you know what? Maybe Lion's Claw, Advanced Lion's Claw is not a good option. It's a little too... It's a little too much. Because Raptor Strike is only a single hit, right? So let's... Whoop. Oh boy, this is gonna be... This is probably gonna be a rough run. That took a long time. Yes, part of the challenge is going to be just to come up with a good setup. Okay, I am going to change... Oh, Melina.
To see whether and it seems torrent, whereas there is, but I can take gathering place.
Okay, we are going to change to Savage Lion's Claw to just regular Lion's Claw, because that double attack thing seems, well, I mean, unless it's part of the main. Well, maybe I could just try not to double. Yeah, you know, let's just keep it to the single tap. Raptor Strike is usually just one quick attack, so let's just keep it to the one attack. I think that's fair.
You there? It's tight. The guards, don't you breach? Very well, but of course. The gates! Open the gates!
So, I was out. Oh crap. They don't normally hit me that quickly. Alright, let's get these off here. Why do they have to knock me down every time? See, stay to the right. They seem to miss a lot more often. They won't necessarily miss a lot. Like, it's not a guarantee, so, like, keep running. Oh, the Hunter's Code. Oh, boy. I don't think there's going to be a code for this character, for this build. Hunters in World, well, at least as far as the Horde goes, they were just scouts mostly. You know, they did what they're told. So I can't really come up with any sort of like enemy. Whatever. Maybe I'll just go with like World of Warcraft. You know, hunt the Alliance. But since that basically just boils down to all of the, you know, vanilla bosses, pretty much. Well, not all the vanilla bosses, but enemies of the Alliance. No, the enemies of the Horde. Basically Alliance, and that's just. The Alliance is basically all the pretty people. That's what it's going to boil down to. They're going to be all my enemies, and I'm just not going to kill anyone who is a troll or, you know, a walking cow, of which there are none in the game, or any of that stuff. You know, if I see a gnome or any of those guys... What? Everyone's hitting me tonight. I have to kill them. And basically that just boils down to all the human-based bosses. That are not incredibly... And of course not Rickard, because oh my god, I can't imagine fighting Rickard with this build. I mean, it actually kind of work more, because I can use the arrows. Can you imagine how many arrows it would take? So, no. And like I said, I'm starting a little later than I should be, so I am going to be making a beeline to the end, and what was I thinking? Holy crap. Case in point. I'm not at my best tonight, so I am not gonna mess around. So none of that. I'm just gonna go straight to everything and get it done. Just go right to the next bosses on the list, just so I can get to the end You know, and any extra stuff will have to be in like the follow-up video. That was bad. What were they thinking? Yay, yay, yay. You know, maybe it'd be simpler to maybe it'll be simpler to just throw. I mean, it's not like as a hunter you had to use Serpent Shot. I mean, actually, you did, or Serpent Strike, or whatever it's called. I mean, well, you kind of did because it was a good dot. But I mean, I guess if I use Serpent Trap, that's just fine. What am I going to do here? I am going to just keep it simple for now. But I am going to use... Maybe I shouldn't bother with the Scarlet Rot dog. Why not? Wait, what have I been shooting at this whole time? I've been missing. Explosive trap! Ooh, he's even burning like they would in the explosive trap. Cool, that worked. I mean, it's not really... Oh crap, that's right, you can deflect arrows. Now, even in World of Warcraft, spamming Arcane Shot was considered bad form. It was meant to be, I think... Well, okay, not a mana dump. Yeah, it's really what it is. You're just supposed to use it if you really couldn't do anything else and you had the mana to spare. But spamming it was actually low, because it was not very high damage. Of course, that's exactly what I'm doing here, because it's kind of difficult. I apparently came a little short on my, Ooh, it's taking a long time. Otherwise, I would have put poison, used poison on him. So that's okay. I need like those 2 points of arcane. I'll get it soon enough.
We'll return together to our home, bathed in rays of gold.
You know, weirdly, even though that was low damage and took a while, I was not impressed by that. It still went about how a fight in World of Warcraft go, because you could actually... Hunters in World of Warcraft could solo, like, most, like, mini-boss type creatures. Because the pet would eat up a lot of the... Oh, right, the healing. I have no options for healing. I don't know how am I going to take care of the whole healing aspect of the game, of the class. They had some minor healing abilities. I don't know what to do about that. I don't even know where to begin with that, so... I could do stuff for myself easily enough. There's plenty of options, but for something to also work on a pet, I don't know. The best I can think of is a certain healing spell that can go off and do like regen on your pet, but I would have to have gone into Faith, and I just don't have the points. Best I can do is Warming Stones, but that's absolutely not the same thing. I don't know, I'm still going to have to look that one up. The only other thing I can think of is if somehow the mixed physics, I do believe it has some sort of HP regeneration. but it would have to also work on your friends. Work on allies. I don't think it does. That's something I need to look into later. Cool, I have Egon's bow. I could do some dragon hunting. But I kind of want to save... I don't actually have that many... Or do I? Do I have a lot of arrows for Egon's bow? I don't think... Yeah, no, I didn't pile on a lot of... or I didn't buy a lot of Egon's harpoons. Because they are expensive. And I was saving them specifically for... I mean, I only need them for... Okay, I don't need them for just Bale, but I'm trying to restrict them to just Bale. I have a feeling that'll be fun. So I'm going to need them for Bale. Well, maybe I can give them a try on Plassie Saxy Found player. But I probably shouldn't. I mean, he's still... He's not like Bale HP, but it's... I mean, I'll be doing half the usual damage, so... I probably shouldn't shy away from... Where's the shack? I probably shouldn't shy away from using Bale's... or using Egon's bows, but... arrows. But I really should have bought some... Well, I tried to buy more, but I was getting, you know, really close to stream time, and I had to go. I just had to go. I missed the prawn cottage. Where is that guy? Oh well, that's okay. I have plenty of crabs. These kinds, not those kinds. You naughty, naughty person. You naughty thoughts. All right, I should craft some more volcano pots because I'm probably gonna really need these. I don't know about the frost pots. Thankfully, all the ingredients, I can farm them later. So they are all ingredients I can get in the first part. I'm not going to bother with the hefty pots just because the ingredients, they're just much fewer ingredients. They're not nearly as easy to farm. We're not going to be able to get them until the DLC. And they're really slow, honestly. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking in terms of more like dot damage for this class. I really don't think I'll be able to beat Radon. The consort Radon, not the other Radon. Well, I'm almost thinking I shouldn't bother with... Oh, no, wait, never mind. I gotta beat Radon to get to the DLC, so... And because, you know, I don't really see myself needing to respect. I'm not going to bother with you guys. I just don't have enough dragon arrows to deal with you. And I'm pretty sure I can't grease the bow, so... Adios! Glintstone Dragon Smarg. Smarag. Smuckers. So, I know I mentioned last week that I got a capture card and I was going to work on that sort of thing. I hate, well, you see me using YouTube, the PS5 streaming, so that pretty much tells you how that went. It didn't work, guys. It didn't work. Couldn't make it work, or at least not in time for this. I tried. Good, didn't work. The funny thing is, it was working the first time I did it, with the cheap little $10 capture thing that's not really a card. It worked. I mean, everything was working just fine with that. I mean, even still have the video on my... I mean, it's a private video, but I still have it. The only problem was with some audio, and even then, I know it wasn't a real problem because it was working at first, and then it stopped working, so I must have changed something. So anyway, it was working. So I'm like, oh, great. But the only problem was I had no way to actually see the game feed. I mean, I could see it, but I could only see it in, like, OBS's window. And that's not acceptable. I did have a idea to get around that, but I decided instead to just get a different card that allows me to passes through the game feed to my regular TV. And I figured, you know, it's working just fine. I just need to do this. So yeah, and I figured we're good. All I had to do was do a test to see if I can get the stream to work. Everything would be just fine. Well, it didn't work. And I have no idea why. And the one problem I had with it is one of those problems where the wording is like, can mean anything. It can be connected to any issue. It's like that. It's like the dreaded unknown error from like a Steam page. Once you get the unknown error, it's pretty much you're toast, right, with your account. There's nothing you can do except short of like reinstalling. That's what happened with me with Steam, right? I mean, I don't really use Steam anyway, but it happened with me. And anytime I tried to play any game, I mean, I only had a few games, but whenever I tried to play any of them, I just get unknown error. So I never used Steam. I refunded all the games I did have, and that was that. I never got to use Steam again until I literally got a brand new computer and had to like reinstall Windows, and well, not reinstall Windows, just, you know, install Windows period. Then it worked. I know some people are like, oh my god, why would you not want to reinstall Steam? Why would you not want to do that? Reinstall Windows to play Steam? I'm like, I'm not going to completely reinstall and reformat my computer and all this crap just to play a few games. No. So yeah, that's what happened there. I'll take another shot at it tomorrow, but if it looks like this will not be the stream that gets... Well, I mean, who knows? Well, I mean, it'll probably make a difference. I'm sure the encoder on my graphics card or any of that stuff will do better, will look better than this, what I'm getting out of the PS5, but it didn't work. I don't know why it won't work. Like I said, the first time I plugged the stupid thing in, it worked just fine. Aside from the audio thing, which I figured out pretty quickly afterwards. And it's like I even took the other capture card thing and plugged that in, and that wouldn't work either. And even though it was like the same setup, like that's exactly what happened the first time. All I did was plug that stupid thing in, played it, or streamed it, no problem. Streaming, no problem. Just no mic audio. I wasn't getting the mic audio from the PS5, right? But otherwise, it worked just fine, and the mic audio actually worked for the first 2 minutes or so. But even so, with the new card and with the old one, won't stream. Why? I don't know. The error, the code can apply to too many things. So yeah, that's the story there. Back to the old PS5 streameroo. I don't know what to tell you guys. I tried. I spent like all day trying to figure it out. Ooh, unique opportunity. No, I just one-shotted him instead. Ooh. I was hoping to like send him flying off or something, but oh well. Hunter, coming through. Sorry, girl. Oh, wait. Oh, this stupid little poison cloud that has like a really high column effect. Or just spraying directly at me, but still cheap. Wow, that's quite a butt scratch there. Very holy butt scratch. Hey, you know, I'm going to do a little switcheroo here. I am going to move all my weapons, all my melee weapons to the right hand, and all the bows to the left, because with the right hand, I need to be able to switch things up on the fly, but on the right hand, I should probably just use this. This is actually, well, you know, I grabbed the commander standard just, you know, to have some sort of buff option that could sort of stand in the, you know, stand for all those buffs, but I am not sure. Let's see here. All right, the horn bow, and this way, when I want to use the bow, I have no choice but to move it to my left hand. But in the meantime, I can quickly use my melee abilities if I need to. I also need to figure out better options for increasing bow damage. Like, what do I have here? Well, I want to stance breaks because, you know, well, arrows can. Oh shit! Okay, no, we're not going to use you for this. Who are we going to use? We are going to try. Where's the bird? Where's the not Dean? Where's the hawk? Oh crap! I can't see what's going to happen. Probably something horrible is about to happen. Where is that stupid death bird? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, okay, okay, good. That hasn't appeared yet. Oh, I'm safe. I was worried for nothing. Where are you? There you are, Great Bird. Great Bird, I choose you. Thanks for that. Hitting a wall. Ooh. Get away from me, you stupid little... Great Bird, where are you? Oh crap, I'm in lava. I'm pretty sure the fire pot is not going to work on you. You're moving too much. Yeesh. Well, normally I'm in your face, hacking you up. Well, that's a good bite swing. But... Great Bird! Oh, there we go. What? You're doing no damage, Great Bird. Wow, nice little spinorama there. Brave Bird, do your thing. No, I don't have growl. No, wait, no, I'm wrong. There actually is a growl effect in the game. Might have to actually think about it. Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. It would just affect me. It would just make me have aggro. Aha! I can feign. Feign death! Feign death! Attack the pet! Feign death! Shit, it's working! No, not really. I think there's something that increases headshot damage here. Okay, what's the chance I'm going to land headshots? Ooh, what if... Will repeated attacks work? I mean, I am kind of attacking him relentlessly with this over and over again. Maybe it's not as fast as weapon strikes. Alright, let's get these levels in. I want to get Arcane up so I can use Serpent Strike. I just need 2 points. Just 2 lousy points. Why do I have only 2? I thought I made extra volcano pots. Nope, sorry. I don't have enough arrows for you. At least not dragon hunting arrows. How many of these arrows do I have left? Oh my god. I'm going through them so fast. Oh. You know, I better make sure I go near the merchants that sell them. I know there's one up here. Again, unfortunately, because I'm definitely not going to go late tonight, so not a great night for me. So I'm just going straight to the bosses I need to, which, you know, I always go to Malakath. Still, I will need to. I'll definitely want to get to the hermit merchant up here because he sells. I think he sells great arrows. Thankfully, a lot of the merchants that I tend to run by tend to be the ones I actually, or the ones that are in my path, I should say, tend to sell all the arrows I actually want. Nope, ain't doing you. Sorry. Even if I did, I'd do one of the later ones. Like I said, not a great night for me, so I just need to go through the early bosses quickly, I'm afraid. But I will get this hermit, because I'm going to need to buy arrows later. Oh boy. I just realized using some of these special arrows. Oh boy. And I do have some of the more interesting arrows up my sleeve. Although I'm going to save those for dire times. So I noticed I'm not the only one doing these builds. I mean, obviously I'm not the only one doing these kind of builds. I don't have any kind of monopoly or ownership on the idea. I started doing this because I saw people doing like Wolverine builds and One Punch Man builds and stuff like this, right? And I'm sure there are more, but those are the ones you just saw the most. And then, of course, you saw the Crazy Bonks build. That was nothing special, but I tried to do more interestingly themed builds. So, but anyway, so I'm not the only one doing these. And I saw... Let's just get this recording in. I saw someone did a video on Doctor Strange, a Doctor Strange build in Elden Ring. Now, I would never consider Doctor Strange, or actually a lot of Marvel characters. Let's see, what are my arrows? Do I have great arrows? Maxed out. Okay, definitely. I'm gonna top those up. Golden bolt. No, not the bolts, but anyway, this was a merchant I needed. So someone is doing a Doctor Strange build. I probably won't do a lot in the way of superheroes. Yes, I did Wolverine, but Wolverine's pretty damn simple, really, right? But I don't actually know a lot of the Marvel superheroes. Like, certainly not well enough to do many of these builds. Someone like Wolverine is easy as hell, but in general, I probably won't do any Marvel builds unless someone happens to suggest one and a sort of a way to make it work. But, you know, I don't know the superheroes that well. I mean, I thought I knew well, like, you know, Marvel Rivals. You know, there's always people like, oh, you know, make a list of, like, create your favorite character, you know, like try and create a character for Marvel Rivals. Like, oh, I can do that, and I did a lot of that, and I thought, and that was pretty fun, right? Ooh, these guys have been great for farming. I thought that was pretty fun, but then I actually look up what kind of powers these some of these superheroes had, that even the ones I didn't really know, but I did like a chart anyway. And I was like, I don't know. They had all these other powers I didn't know about, like Kitty Pryde. I know about Kitty Pryde. She teleports through walls. But did you know she has a pet dragon? I didn't know that. Alright, let's take care of this guy first, and I will continue that thought. What's going to be the best thing for you? Oh, you're not going to give me a chance to think about this, are you? You know what? Bird should be fine for you. I'm not going to use any pots on you because you are not special enough. You are not worthy. No, don't attack them. Don't attack them. Attack him. Fine, keep attacking me. Let Bird peck your eyes out. No, I should get a few raptor. Well, I'll have all my raptor strikes and loot. Ow. That's not raptor strike. That's more like bear smush. But don't worry, I'm sure I'm eventually going to, like Radon, for example, there's going to be no way I can fight him with a bow. I'm pretty sure of that, so I'll probably have to be in melee, and then I'll be using Raptor Strike and all that crap. Oh, cool. Focus on the bird, not me. Oh, okay, he did. But damn, bird, you can take a hit. Will you stop shooting light beam bolts at me? I am not liking how long this is taking. This should have been done a long time ago. Okay, good. Well, at least it went down. At least this is playing exactly like how a hunter would play in World of Warcraft. Honestly, if you decide to go, hey, I'm gonna go solo that elite enemy, right? That's exactly how this would go. In World of Warcraft, I have more abilities in this, but you know, I'm working on juggling them. I still got to work out which bows I should prioritize over which. I still don't have my Serpent Sting yet. All I need is one more Arcane, and I can use Serpent Sting. I'm leveled up high enough to use Serpent Sting. Yay! Not yet. Just one more point. Actually, I mean, if I really wanted to, I could just, you know, use the points to activate it now, but I don't want to. I mean, nothing's difficult enough yet for me to really warrant it. Although I'm starting to think I'm going to need to switch to Serpent Trap, or Poison Trap, or whatever it was, the one with the snakes. I think I might have to switch to using that instead of the arrows, even though firing the serpent arrows is definitely more serpent stingy. I mean, it's more on brand. But I'm juggling a lot of arrows here, or different bows here, and like weapons here to try and get all these abilities in. So, and whereas pots, at least I can just throw them quickly, and I can have a bunch here on my quick buttons. What else? I mean, I still got to get. I think I pretty much gave up on aim shot because enchanted shot, they're pretty similar, and I used the mighty shot a lot with the ranger, so. Even though it works, no, you're not worth my sorry. Not doing too great tonight, so I gotta keep this. I gotta keep this quick and breezy. So what else? I'm trying to avoid using rain of arrows for now. There's a reason. You'll see later. But you'll see. What else? So I gotta go through. Don't worry, if you go back to the beginning of the video and you'll see I got I have all the key abilities covered from vanilla World of Warcraft. Because that's all I can really manage. They're there, I got them, I got pretty much most of them. Now it's just a matter of trying to work them all in there. You know, we're going to have to really get my endurance up later. Okay, so I stopped on the whole Doctor Strange video. So I started saying, oh, you know, you're not going to do Marvel Heroes. That was not my point, really, I was getting to with that. So this person did a Doctor Strange video. And at first I didn't think, well, you can't do Doctor Strange. But someone found a mantle. There's a mantle in the game that looks quite a bit like Doctor Strange's cloak. And I did not know he had a whole whip thing going on. I mean, I know there's a whip in Marvel Rivals, but it's just like, you know, there's a little. Honestly, it looks more like he's just smacking people with a ribbon. But the fire whip apparently, or any of the whips in the game plus fire, you know, that covers it nicely. I'm like, oh well, you know, the guy did a good job there in terms of setting that all up, right? So like, good job. But I actually think the build was flawed. Not in terms of power or effectiveness, no, nothing like that. But the thing with Doctor Strange is, first off, I don't really know what spells he has, but by the sound of things, he kind of has every spell, really. So by making a Doctor Strange build and putting on the cape and giving him a whip and then just giving him whatever spell you freaking want, sort of undermines the whole purpose of creating such a very specialized build like that. So while he got the look down, and yes, the whip was a fun touch, I actually think that video, as cool as it was flawed, because there's no challenge. Like, the challenge in creating these builds is trying to stay really close to like what that character has. Like creating the World of Warcraft mages that I'm going to be doing in the next little while. I had to find like every spell that was at least close, that was like the spells from World of Warcraft, or at least functionally similar, like all these things. And that's what makes it fun, trying to create trying to capture like everything about those classes, or at least as much as you can to like get a good, like a workable build going that restricts yourself to just those spells, because that's what that class did. But if all you're doing is just saying, you know, whatever, I'm this super character, and I just use whatever spell you want because it's the most powerful, and like, well, you're undermining the whole point of everything. Hey, Dragon Balls! Oh, I'm talking about the cartoon, kids! The cartoon! Anyway, so that sort of build, as cool as it was, undermines the whole point of these builds. So like I said, I've said before, like one of the reasons why I don't like to use mage builds, because ultimately it boils down to I'm just doing a mage build, but maybe I'll have a specific look to it. I'm like, oh, I'm whatever mage, or I'm Gandalf, or I'm Doctor Strange, when using whatever spell I want. I'm like, well, then you're just doing a mage build. Like, there's nothing special about what you're doing. I mean, it's nice that you may get the look down, but if you're then just using whatever spell you want, then there's nothing special about your build. Yay for the look, but no for the build. Like, it's like, look at me, I'm trying, like, I spend hours researching, watching these videos to see, like, okay, what are all the spells in Elden Ring, and what are all the ones that can work, and then what are all the debuffs I can use to match the ability. Like, if I can't match the spell perfectly, what can I use in its stead that's like that spell? Like, for example, I can't use Hunter's Mark in, I mean, there is something like Hunter's Mark in Elden Ring, but I have to, like, turn into a dragon and breathe fire to do it. And that's so not a Hunter, right? Even though the effect is similar, it's just a little too bizarre, even though it's functionally similar. But what did I found in return? I found the Golden Arrow, or the Great Golden Arrow, which actually gives you a damage buff if the arrow hits anyone's nearby. I'm like, well, that doesn't debuff a target, but it does increase the damage everyone around it, and it's functionally the same result. You're doing a little more damage to that target because you hit them with the arrow, and then think, well, there you go, there's a Hunter's Mark, right? So, but this guy doing the Doctor Strange video, could I use you? I don't know. I don't really think. Oh wait, I'm getting a damage bonus. Why am I getting a damage bonus? Where's the damage bonus coming from? Where's this damage bonus coming from? No, I probably hit something. Alright, no, I'm not going to worry about it. I got to look up later everything I can use to increase arrows. So yeah, it's fun. It's neat to see other people doing what I'm doing, even though I'm not doing anything original or unique. It just so happens this guy released the video like a day or two ago, but you know, with editing and all that, probably did it a month or two ago. I don't know. But that said, I'm not trying to bring this guy's video down. I'm just saying I wouldn't do something like that because it's not as unique a build as it sounds. It's not really a unique build. It's a unique look for a very standard regular mage build. It's not nearly the same as like pouring through every build, like the Frost Mage, the World of Warcraft Frost Mage. I thought was going to be, actually no, I shouldn't talk about the World of Warcraft Frost Mage. The Fire Mage is hard. Trying to find all the spells that Fire Mages have that work, that was tricky. I'm so happy to find a spell that actually mimics the Fire Mage's Pyroblast, or not Pyroblast, the cone of fire ability. It literally has a dragon's head appears and breathes fire. There's literally a spell like that in Elden Ring. Like, there, right? That's a spell they actually have. Okay, I definitely need this merchant. Wait, let me get my bearings straight. Whoop, I ran by. I thought so. All that said, the guy did do quite the job editing the video, and I mean, it's an actual edited video that actually comes off as professional, so so that's definitely a lot better than anything I'm doing, so I mean, I can't criticize the guy. I mean, it's, as far as being a presentable, a well-presented YouTube video, it's far and beyond anything I've done, so points for that, right? I just don't think the build itself is something it sort of undermines the point of doing these builds, but yeah, the video is still much better than any of my video, my stupid little replay highlights videos. You know, that's all they are. I don't know if this guy has done a lot of builds like that. I don't know. I've never seen him pop up before, and it's never popped up again. Because YouTube's getting stupid that way, right? Remember, folks, not enough to like and subscribe anymore. You have to engage. Engage! If anyone knows Borderlands, you know what I'm going on about. And engorge! You got to engage. Whatever the bloody hell that means. You got to leave comments, watch the video through the end, subscribe. You got to click on my other videos to go to my other, to watch my other videos that appear at the end of the video, or like stuff like this, right? That counts. It's not enough to just view the video anymore. You got to like actually interact or something stupid. I don't know. AIs are screwing everything up. All right, that's enough of that. Let's just refocus to just this. Oh, some news. Okay, I know in my schedule. Whoop! Get out of my way, bats. I know in my schedule. Speaking of the bats one just reminded me. Yes, I can actually recreate. There's a way to recreate the. Because you might remember, one of the raid sets for the hunters in Vanilla WoW was like dragon armor. There is, in fact, a dragon armor set in this game, in Elden Ring. So, yay, I'll be able to recreate that. Like, right now, this look I'm going is supposed to be more like low-level raiding. I know, it's not really low-level, but it's pretty similar. No, I actually have the red bow is much closer to the one that's in the thumbnail, but I can't carry it at the moment. But don't worry, it'll get used. I'm saving the heavier bows for later bosses. And of course I will survive this jump because... Oh, no, that's not as far as usual. So the news. I know it says Killer Mushroom on the schedule, but I have been thinking about the Smo and Ornstein run, and that one just sounds like too much fun. It sounds like so much fun, even though probably won't be that fun. It's actually a pretty simple build when it's all said and done, but it sounds... It's too perfect. So that's gonna actually be next weekend. I know it's not up yet. It'll go up. I was working on the thumbnail for that video today before I got focused on trying to get OBS to work. When it flat out didn't. But so next weekend is actually gonna be Smo and Ornstein. Okay, and then I'll probably try to sneak in Killer Mushroom in there somewhere. Honestly, I shouldn't put it back so much. It sounds like a really fun build, but Smo and Ornstein just sounds too silly, too fun. I don't want to hold off on that one. So that's actually next week.
Before we begin,
I have no idea when. I know Jedi builds on there too, but honestly, I'm not feeling it for Jedi build at the moment. I'm just not in the mood for Jedi stuff. Maybe if there's some new Star Wars movie or something comes out, but God knows. Star Wars in general, don't want to even talk about that. But, or I'll just replace it. It's not that I'm saying I won't ever do a Jedi run, I'm just not feeling it at the moment. Whereas, meanwhile, I got, like, World of Warcraft Mage is coming up next, and that's something I'm feeling. All 3 different builds. I actually managed to, well, 2 of them will work, Frost, and I'm actually shocked. There's actually a bloody spell in the game that actually works like Orb of Frost. Freezing Sphere is actually in Elden Ring, and it even has the effect of like freezing anything that goes nearby and shoots like little like I don't know if it actually shoots little ice bolts, but it has that effect. I'm like, oh, awesome! I can do Freezing Sphere. So Frost Mage works. Fire Mage, I'm still iffy about. Okay, I'm gonna summon friends here. I know I'm a hunter. I know you're gonna be, oh, you trade arrows, but no, I'm not crazy. This is going to be hard enough, frankly. And there's nothing stopping me from summoning friends. Actually, none of these people are specific. Like, you can't really look at a lot of these guys and think, oh, they're totally Alliance. Actually, okay, a couple of them are. But, Blade and the giant pot, and, I can say... Actually, and then, you know what? Even in that sense, it's like, this is clearly one of those actions where it's like, oh, the Horde and Alliance are teaming together to take out a wild threat, So I think this is perfectly fair. I'd just summon my pet if I could, but they won't let me. Okay then, time for the big fight. Oh, is it even worth using this? give him a taste of his own medicine and use the Radon bow. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to give him a taste of his own medicine. Where is the line bow? Line bow, line bow. There you go. Alright, I gotta do great arrows. Great arrows. No, I am not gonna do the trick. Oh, wow. Oh, crap. He's coming for me! Don't move! Fine. Move. Just, you know. Wow, I should have done this earlier. Yes, I'm aware of the trick. I know the trick with Rain of Arrows. Okay? I spent 3-4 hours setting up the trick. I'm not doing it for this level of enemy. Ow. Okay, I should be just sticking to Rain of Arrows. It's, Oh, someone staggered him! Who did that? Is that Blade? Good job, Blade. Wow, I've never seen an NPC just straight up stagger him without barely any contribution from me. I mean, I did all the damage, but, you know, for a while there, I was just sitting there. I was lying on the ground. And yes, I do have feigned death. Okay? I have feigned death. See? Oh no! I've been shot! I don't think it'll actually drop all my aggro, though. But I have it! And I do have... Nope. What are you doing? Wait, why is Radon's Rain taking over? Okay, whatever. Arcane, now I can do Serpent Sting. I leveled up! Serpent Sting learned! Why is this not letting me... This is in my right hand now. Huh, interesting. I've had a bow in my offhand this whole time, and it was not taking over for my right hand. So why is it not... Or was it? I just didn't notice the whole time. Oh, it did. So then, wait a minute. That's why I put that there, so I can switch when I need to. Okay, so... An enchanted shot. What the hell? What the hell? I put all the weapons, the martial weapons in my left hand, so I wouldn't have to worry about... Because the only way you can fire a bow is when you specifically two-hand it. So I didn't want to... Okay, this is stupid. This is working for Ranger. What the hell's going on here? I really have to actually two-hand just every time I want to use disengage, as we're calling it here. Crap, no, that's... Damn it. That's why I set it up this way. So if I ever need to use any of these... if I ever want to use Raptor Strike or disengage, I can do them quickly. Because I just have to... All I have to do is stop two-handing the bow, which is much quicker than two-handing a... Well, that's just stupid. Crapola. Okay, well, whatever. I'm just going to keep going. Alright, first I have to go to stupid round table hold. Because, you know, I gotta honor my obligations or something. I don't know. Oh! Blood... Godskin Duo. Ooh, how's that gonna go? I don't know. I mean, can I use sleep pots? No. I mean, if I were doing like balanced druid, then I'd be allowed to do sleep, because I found they're actually the ones who do the sleep, not arcane mages. Okay, well, I talked to you, and you didn't. I didn't like you, and you didn't like me. Okay, good. I don't know about balanced druid. I never really played druids, except I only did tanking druid and healing druid, and I didn't even really do healing druid that often. I did tanking druid. So, I mean, and there's no shape-shifting spell in the game, so no version of druid, not D&D druid, not any druid. It's not going to work. Blight druid, on the other hand, very different story. However, they're definitely a work in progress. I don't think Blight druid's going to work. It's all about corrupting plant spells, so... Where am I going with this? Right, World of Warcraft. Balanced Druid. The only reason I thought about Balanced Druid is because there are spells, like there are purple spells that do like blast effects in Elden Ring. But there isn't anything that does a dot damage. There is a spell that's like you summon flies and they just sort of do dot damage in Elden Ring. So, of course, there's sleep spells. So there's some of the Balanced Druid set, so it's sort of an option. Thorns that can stun people. I don't know about thorns that can hold people in place. I think there's something that slows. So it's not like it's really high up on my list, but it's moving towards being feasible. Big breakthrough for Elemental Shaman, though. I was going to do just Enhanced Shaman. Or, wait, did I already... No. Enhanced Shaman is actually not as... I mean, it's feasible, but not as much fun as I thought it was going to be. Unless I make certain adjustments to it. But Elemental Shaman certainly got a boost today. What's Florisax's mace? I didn't know... Well, I mean, I knew, but, you know, it just sort of falls out of your... You know, off your plate and you forget about it. Florisax's mace, the spell on it, actually increases lightning damage whenever you cast a spell. And while that's not exactly... I don't think Elemental Shaman's really had an effect like that. Actually, I think that's actually the Enhanced Shaman that had an effect like that. Every time they do like damage, it increases the damage of their next like nature spell or something like that. Like I forget. But they had some effect like that. So, but Elemental Shaman, I don't think they have an effect like that. But they do have a talent that increases the damage of their lightning. Blah blah blah. Yes, yes, yes. Melina. Yeah, you're gonna believe me. Who cares? I don't care. I got pets. You're ugly. And you're weak Alliance girl. Me strong orc girl. With red pants. I kind of tried to match the look. I think I need to make an adjustment there to get closer, but I was doing it from memory and not with, I wasn't looking like a picture when I was doing this, so I'm sure I can do better. Ow. Maybe I'll hold off on the Drake armor because I can't think of, I'm not aware of the other later sets that hunters have. That was the only one I remember really, because that's the only one I ever really worked on. I didn't bother with any. I wasn't playing by the time I was playing the later expansions. No! Shitball! Oh, good. Okay, it didn't fall. By the time I got to later expansions, my hunter was way low, was very low on the pecking order. So I didn't play him much at all. So I don't know what the later raid sets look like. But since the DLC would be kind of like raidy, and actually when you get into the expansions for World of Warcraft, you'll see a lot of people running around in their raid sets, because, you know, they had nothing else to do. Ow! Speaking of Florisax's Bolt, yikes. I mean, it's not the same spell, but it's a bolt that looks similar. Yee! Anyway, that effect that Florisax's Bolt has increases lightning damage for ensuing effects, and that is very Elemental Shaman-y. So it makes it even more possible, even though it's not the same kind of spell whatsoever, and I don't think they actually have an effect like that. But it's they do have a talent that increases their lightning damage. Not sure does Enhance have that. Oh right, they it was Storm Strike that had the nature damage increase in damage to the next. Well, whatever. But it works. So, and there were a lot of maces in World of Warcraft that were like spell maces, and I'm pretty sure shamans could wield them. So, and I still have a staff in the other hand, so it works. It actually makes that build even more viable now. And also, I found out that there's the gravity stones, gravity fan stones, create like an earth moving effect. It's like a little, you know, the stones shoot up the spiky stone effect, and like that sounds like something the Elemental Shaman would do, or I mean, not would do. They actually had an earthquake effect in the game. Although they kind of changed the graphic over the years. What am I doing? Oh, hey. Okay, Burr. Actually, no. I should summon Scorpion here, but I don't have much room to grow. You know what? There's not much room to work with here. Let's finally get around to using Raptor Strike when I get a chance anyway. Where's that damn bird? Oh crap. Feign death won't work. Disengage does, though. Raptor Strike, Raptor Strike. Actually, I think there was a cooldown on that. Raptor Strike! Wait, I should be using a trap. Nope, wait, not worth it. Didn't have enough HP to be worth it. Okay, there we go. I swear there was a race that had, when they used Raptor Strike, would actually look like that. That's what it would look like when they did it. But who was it? Okay, I don't have to bother to hit this anymore. And putting points for this sort of thing is not even really worth it. I'm going to have to focus on just regular buffs. The damage bonuses than weapon, like raw stats for damage increases, not worth it. I think I'll just put endurance for now because I've got so many stupid weapons and bows to carry. I don't think I'm ever going to have a chance to carry the larger weapons because I do have like the big great axes and great spears, but because they're more World of Warcraft looking. The look I'm going for right now is sort of like I'm a little lower level sort of thing, so it's not quite right. And actually, the female orcs in World of Warcraft, they didn't look all big and bulky. I mean, they were big and bulky, but you know, they weren't like cartoonish big and bulky. So I'm not gonna mess with you tonight. Actually, you know what? I don't have a choice, do I? You're gonna be a pest, so I might as well. There we go. But yeah, even in the female orcs, I don't have to think in terms of. I mean, yeah, the World of Warcraft armor is all just like cartoonishly garish at times, but not on the female orcs. They would actually be almost more normal size, so I can sort of get away with using more regular looking weapons and armor with this build. And plus, the bigger weapons and armor are like really heavy, and I'm like sporting like 3, 4, 5 different weapons just to try and cover everything. Okay, so this time we need someone who can actually keep him on his toes, but I'm still not going to use any real heavy, my best options just yet because we're gonna want Serpent Sting. I should really use the Great Golden Arrow. So, or well, you know what? I should just use the Commander Standard. Let's see here. Don't ask how long it took me to get 100 great arrows. Golem's great arrows. Just don't ask. What am I looking for? Right, the serpent arrows. And you know what? To make this simpler, I'm going to get rid of these two and just have the one commander standard. Okay. That should do it. I don't think it'll overwrite that. Managing all these weapons is tricky. Whoa, why is that doing so much damage? Fine, you're going to stand there in one spot. Here, oh crap. I should have waited. You know what? I think it would have been better to have Bloodhound Step. Why are you not casting? I did remove the other arrows. Oh, right. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Fine. Here. Explosive trap. You can stand in one spot. I don't know what's going on with the game, but I'm going to have to. Come on, Scorpid! Attack him! What was my Scorpid's name? You know, I don't think I ever named my Scorpid. I kind of figured, you know, a bug would never really answer to a name anyway, so... They'd answer more to a fart than a name. And you think I'm joking, but I'm serious. Pheromones and all that. Oh, good. You lost interest in me at the exact perfect time. Hey, don't dodge. Yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of damage the rallying standard does. He died before I could test it. That's actually pretty high. Okay, bye. You just stand there and stay poisoned. I need... No, I got 2 more pots left. So I'm gonna go knock on the door. Because we came all this way. Nobody's home. Well, damn it. Now we're going to have to go with plan B. You know, make a side trip. We wanted to go to Erdtree Land. Not the crappy Santa's Village ripoff in the mountains. Yeah, we're...
Allow me, you are unable.
Yes. You changed your mind, you're coming with me. I know, I'm Rock.
So I'd like you to enter the flame then and guide.
You don't have to travel with some ugly guy instead. You get to travel with me. Okay, let's see. Yes, level ups and all that. I don't know where to put anything right these days. Oh, next is the stupid giant. So, we're definitely going to get another level in here. Is that enough? No, it's not. It's not enough. It's never enough. Like crafting any recipe in World of Warcraft. Whenever you think you have all the ingredients, you do not. Okay. Alright, let's head to Giant Land. Oh boy, the giant could be a real problem, can't he? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I might have to forego any bows. Thankfully, I can and can fairly and reasonably use melee attacks against the giant. There's no reason why I can't. I'll go survival build. Well, late survival build. Because it's... I don't want to go through that whole thing that went... Like, that whole bit with the... That happened with the cannon again. No way. Not that again. But I suppose I can try it once and see if it is actually reasonable. Oop. Actually, you know what? It's more reasonable in the second phase. Well, okay. It's crazy knowing in the second phase, but at least I can just focus on shooting him in the eye. In the second phase. And first phase, it's trickier. Maybe I'll just do that. Oh, Malakath. Ooh, well, You know what? Cannon worked much better against him than I expected. Simply by hanging back and... Well, no, I think I had a summon, though. That's the trick. This time I'm technically allowed to use a summon. It's like literally a key part of this kit. So all I need is something that can keep his attention. Scorpion is pretty good at holding attention. And seems to have a lot of HP. Bird is pretty good too. Right, Scorpion might not... Get out of my face, you horse's ass. Literally. So Malik... You know, if the pet can hold him, I should be able to beat him with just range attacks. What am I looking at here? Oh, I had the great arrows equipped. That's why I couldn't fire any arrows. I'm definitely not going to be able to use rain of arrows on Malakath, though. I'm going to have to go stick with enchanted shot. Get my serpent arrows off. Yeah, then. Yeah, that'll have to work. One of the nice thing about the bows is, since statistical damage is so minor, like even if I put all my points into strength and dex at this point, the damage is so... And what am I going to end up with? Maybe 30, 40 points of extra damage when it's all said and done? No, I'm better off thinking in terms of buffs. So I can afford to just pile the rest of my points in endurance or FP. I'm not going to increase my vitality anymore. I can actually go up to 60, but hunters were not a high HP class, so the vitality has to stay at 50. A little on the lower end, not bad, but not that great. So, oh my god, and then the mages, I have to deliberately keep the HP low. I mean, I'm not going to put at 30, that's just really low, but maybe 40, but that's still going to be quite low. Oh, mage is going to be interesting, and mages technically don't have allies, so playing in mage accurately means I'm not going to have I mean, I'm still going to have some sort of summon in case it's like, okay, this is not working, because I'm not going to spend all night fighting the same boss over and over again unless it's like the final ones, the big ones, right? But nope, sorry, I am busy tonight. I'm only got 20 minutes left, and I still got to do all of Farum Azula. What was I saying? Arcane Mage, oh boy. Except Frost. Well, I'm not sure how I'm gonna make this work with Frost. Frost does have the elemental, the Frost elemental. I don't know if there's any such thing in Elden Ring, but technically I can summon a Frost elemental. Now, probably the simplest thing to do would be to just do Mimic Tear, but if I could somehow do Mimic Tear and then make the mage only cast like Frostbolt spells, which is pretty much what the elemental does, then it'd be kind of fair, but obviously it's still Mimic Tear, right? And of course it's not going to do that. Ooh, what are they called? Oh shit, what were they called? What were they called? The Frost Wolves. I'm in Frost Wolf territory. Or something like it. I'm not a World of Warcraft lore nerd, okay? I don't know if everything's correct. It would be nice if I can get a Frost Wolf, or even if I could... Nah, you know what. If we're on PC, I'm sure there's all sorts of mods for this or that or whatever, but... Oh, that actually brings up a point. When I was talking about Doctor Strange, I didn't mention this. So, mods, right? I know everyone loves their mods, their PC mods. I get it, right? But for these builds, they have the same effect of undermining builds. Because if you can just say, okay, I'm going to do a special build, and then you just grab a mod, and it's like, I'm going to play like Master Chief versus Elden Ring, right? Like, you know, Dark Souls, right? The Master Chief, the Halo mod for Dark Souls. Now I say, oh, it's Master Chief versus Elden Ring, and then you just get the Dark Souls mod, and you've got guns and sniper rifles and everything. You're just blowing through the game like in Dark Souls. It's like, well, okay. I mean, yeah, sure, that's Master Chief versus Elden Ring, or Dark Souls, but you're just destroying everyone. None of those spells or abilities are actually in the game. So it's more than just looks. If it's just looks, okay, I get it. We got some looks going. But when you have all those special abilities that are not actually in Elden Ring, again, you're undermining the whole point of these builds, right? There's no challenge. You just got some mod to put it in the game. Now, maybe if it was a mod, like some of those can... I heard some of those Elden Ring mods that just add spells and abilities can be pretty cool. They look interesting. I'm sure that would work. I'm really hoping that those Night Rain bosses, what they're eventually going to do is they're going to make another DLC for Elden Ring using those bosses and some of the assets from the game, right? Kind of a prayer at this point. I honestly believe that there's no way they're going to go through all that effort and then someone's not going to say, oh, hey, we could sell another 5 million DLCs for Elden Ring to just take these assets and reuse them and use these bosses, you know, and make a new DLC for Elden Ring, you know. I mean, I find it extremely hard to believe they won't do that. But then again, FromSoft is just... Although they are now owned by more powerful entities, there's still enough wriggle room. Oh, right, let's see if I can make this jump. There's still enough wriggle room there that they still seem to have the ability to make interesting decisions, such as Bloodborne 2, like on the frickin' Switch exclusive. Like, what the hell, right? I have lost my train of thought. Where am I going with this? Right, you can just install a mod that, like, it's the same idea. It undermines the build, so what's the point of installing mods? If it's like getting a mod to like make Torrent into a Frost Wolf, okay, that's really cool. But no, I wouldn't. Even if I had Elden Ring on PC, I wouldn't be using those mods to make these builds. Too late. Oh well. I mean, unless it was like adding some spell or something that was very well balanced, or whatever. Like, I'm sure there's someone out there who has like all the spells from different games or whatever in there, or like even past Dark Souls games. I mean, they're mostly in there already, and I'm sure any Dark Souls mod, like Smo and Ornstein, I would love to have the Smo's armor, and I imagine it's actually really easy to do because apparently it's all the same engine, so there's really. From what I've seen with these mods from Dark Souls, like taking stuff from Dark Souls, putting it in Elden Ring, it's easy. Or like those fights where they take bosses from Dark Souls and have them fight bosses from Elden Ring. It's really easy to do. It's, you know, it's all the same engines. So So I mean, I would love to do something like that, but I'm not gonna make that much effort. I'm not really. There's really nothing stopping me. My computer is definitely strong enough to run bloody Elden Ring. At least I think it is. The computer itself is pretty good. I don't know anymore. Stupid computers. Like a couple years pass and your computer's suddenly outdated. I am not gonna go to Gaius tonight. I'm gonna go straight to. I'm already 15 minutes short of where I should stop this. But the graphics card was... I should not have bought that graphics card when I did. That was a stupid move. I had a 750 Ti for the longest time, from like since... not 2010. It wasn't even released yet. But I had it for a long time. Yeah, a 750, and it's like, oh my god, 750, and like, it worked. It still worked for like everything, pretty much. I mean... I don't know about something like Cyberpunk. I never tried it with Cyberpunk. Something like that level of gameplay, but you gotta keep in mind, my PC, it's like my tertiary gaming rig. I'm more likely to pull out my PS2 or my 360 to do any gaming than I am my PC, right? So I didn't seem the need to update, and it would still run I had to run everything on minimum settings, but it still ran everything. But you know, it's hit its point. It hit its... And it used so little power, the thing worked great. It never died. It never even got hot, for crying out loud. It would never go over like 50 Celsius, so... It's a great little backup graphics card, although by this point I'm sure it'd just explode if it tried to do anything modern. But... So the point I was getting to here is, like, it was a freaking 750 Ti in 2020. I just felt like I just had to get something better, and that happened to be right when the stupid graphics card shortage thing happened. It was just a bad situation. I should not have bought this card that I have now. I should have waited at least one more generation or a bit, and then prices would have dropped to a more reasonable level. Well, for a little while they dropped to a reasonable level. Now they're stupid, especially in Canada, and that was even before stupid Trump tariffs. So I mean, I don't even know what the prices are. Well, I do know what the prices are like. I don't know what necessarily is caused by tariffs or not, but it's like any remotely decent card now here is like $900 minimum. Like, that's like 2070. Or not 2070, but like a 70 series. Right? So... And not even like a 5070. That's like a 3070. And I've now realized that just from... you gotta get a 70 at least, or whatever the AMD equivalent, to be... for a PC to be significantly better than console. 60 series is pretty good. It's okay. It's middle range, but it's roughly what consoles tend to be at, from what I've seen and witnessed over the years. So you want to get more of a 70. I know consoles can also do 70s at times, especially with the Pro versions, but you know, again, not my main gaming device. So if you're, the whole point of the PC, like. You're going to spend the money, and you want the graphics, so you want the benefits. You want to get at least, you want to be sure that your graphic card is definitely better, going to pull off something better than a console can. And the 70 is like the bare minimum of that. Okay, enough jabbering and rambling. I think I started multiple trains of thoughts and just lost them at that point. Whatever, let's get to this. Let's get rid of this giant infestation. Okay, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna go melee for first phase because it's just not worthwhile. Because the eye is my big... Okay, let's see if I can... This is worthless. Let's see. Okay, well, I'm gonna need some fire resistance. This is... No, I don't want enchanted saw. Will just go and hit the giant randomly. I want, when I'm using the bow, I'm going to want to actually hit the eye. And no point using. I don't know if poison works. Let's see. Actually, you know what? The great bow, rain of arrows might do some fun here. Actually, the Golem's Great Orb might do a lot of fun here, but I'm going to save that. We'll just see what the Great Arrow itself will do. And should I bother using this? Might go to heavy. Oh, wait, no. Okay, good. That's like a really heavy weapon. I'm not trying to pick that. I think it will carry. I think the buff from this standard will still work even if I switch weapons. I hope. I don't. I think it's an aura buff, so it shouldn't override that. And we're gonna do Dean because the speed of the damage of the pets don't mean anything here. So we are going to go with buffs, which is what hunter pets were good for in World of Warcraft. They would all have their own little thing, and one of them would be buffs, which is why I'm doing these particular types of animal summons for this run. All the ones that had special buffs or effects. Okay, I think that is no point using the traps, really. I mean, he's a fire giant, so... And I know there's frost, but... I think I'd need like 1,000,000 pots just to get this to go off. I'd rather just attack him in that time. Okay, now for arrows. No. Actually, I mean, I should be aiming for the eye. That's the whole point of doing this, but hey, it's working. Ah, screw it. I'm just gonna spam this. Hey, this is one of... Rain of Arrows was one of the World of Warcraft Hunter abilities. Ooh, but I am out of mana. Oh crap. Alright, enough of this. sorry. I unfortunately don't have enough time to play with you tonight, so that was messy. But at least now I know where I should be putting more points in the future. At least it didn't go as badly as Cannon did. Oh, Bomberman did. Oh, that was... Yeah. That was fun. Actually, no, it was not fun. That's the whole point. It was totally, absolutely not fun. But where to now? Well, I just was saying I need more FP in general, but I want to be rocking all these stupid bows. I mean, technically, I have all... Okay. To have everything, I mean, I don't actually need the standard. To have everything, I need the spear, this, quality spear, rain, and mighty shot. But I also need to mix in the stupid golden arrows. Oh wait, did that work? Did I get everything? Oh yes, I got it. Oh, but I still have to equip the stupid Drake armor later. Nah. I'll just go back and forth between endurance and FP going forward, because the strength and stuff and dex is not doing anything for me anymore. But if I want, that does cover the majority of my abilities. If I have the two bows, and the 2 weapons equipped, and the rallying standard is entirely unnecessary, really. I don't really need it. How much are these? Do I mean? These are regular arrows. These are great arrows. Unfortunately, they're much weaker than the regular arrows. So, what about the fun arrows? Radon spear. The fun arrows. Yes, let's do something naughty, Melina.
Are you to commit? Very well. Let my hand rest upon you. For but a moment.
When I said naughty, that's not what I meant. Okay, hopefully I can get through Farah Missoula quickly. And then I can upgrade my armor a bit. Well, I'll do that tomorrow, but get the right look going. How much, what's these arrows? Oh, holy I can't use holy damage here. But it's the closest thing to getting Hunter's Mark going. Godskin Duo. What's gonna work against them? On the one hand, you want a big, tough pet that can soak up some damage and keep their attention. But on the other hand, you have a pet that moves around quickly, like something like Dean will increase my damage. You know, I don't think I'll really have the time to against them. I don't think I'll be able to just stand back and use a bow, really. I think I need to go in with the melee attacks and focus on taking them out quickly. And they move around too much to use explosive trap. Hey, how you doing? We'll get your big brother in the DLC, don't worry. We'll get you. I don't have that many dragon killing arrows. I didn't max them out like I did the other arrows. And there is no way to get more of Egon's arrows until I think you have to... I think he has to die first. Twister City, Twisty City, another spot on my horrible vacation list. Since Erdtree Land was closed, we gave Frostwolf Canyon a nice little run through, but you know the giants were a pain in the butt, so we decided to come to Twister City. So far, I'm not impressed. I mean, but as far as budget vacations go, I mean. Sure, you can't expect too much, but you know, even a crappy theme park can, you know, at least have some cheap thrills. This is just ridiculous. This place is like falling apart. Okay, so these two. My best Onion Knight impression. You know what? I think what I'm going to do is, I think I want to focus on getting one killed as quickly as possible. Because there's no point poisoning them. So I think I'm going to do that instead. Then there's no point having... let's just focus. Let's just get two-handed up. So I'm going to focus on just taking one down quickly, and then I can arrow the final one. But who should do? Well, Dean will certainly help with killing things quickly, but let's try Dean first for killing potential. And then we'll go from there. If that doesn't work, then we'll go Scorpid. Actually, I wonder if there were actually Stormhawks in World of Warcraft, like actually called Stormhawks. I think there was. Stormwind Hawk? Yep. That went how I expected. Wait, you're still alive? Oh, alright. Fine, avoid this. You're supposed to avoid that. I thought you were good at avoiding things. Fine, whatever. Just end it. You didn't know when it was over. Okay, next up. So I was gonna skip the dragon, but because he's a big boy, and I have a particular set of skills, weaponry, designed for big boys. There's no nice way that could have came out. It was there. Anywho, not innuendo aside, I do have some fun. There it is again. I was going to say fun accessories. I have arrows that are really good for killing dragons. There, I got it out. No innuendo there. And combined with, I don't know if necessarily, should I bother with Egons? Oh, it's not powered up. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to use Egons then. I can keep using the line bow, but I want to see what happens if I use it with... Actually, no, but I definitely want to use Serpent Sting, or the equivalent of Serpent Sting. And I'm going to want to do some Volcano Pots, because he stands there for a long time. But then the... I know the amazing trick of the Golem Arrows. I don't want to say it's overkill, I just don't think it's going to make a big difference when we're talking about something big like a dragon. Plus, I don't have too many of those Golem Arrows, so I'm going to save it for... What would be a good boss to use on? Because the idea with them is that the area that they deal is great for taking out groups of enemies, because it ensures that more of the damage is going to go around, but for a large creature, it doesn't really make a difference. Oh, you son of a... Stupid bird. I don't know, sometimes, for some reason, I just couldn't seem to get a heal off. They just kept attacking me at the exact moment. Fine, whatever, there's always one of these. There's always one of these dumb deaths like that. This one is actually, other than that, up to this point, this run has been going like clockwork. Oh shit, the Mounted Knight. I can't summon my pet against him. Ooh. What the hell was that? I didn't press the jump button then. God damn it. Okay, why are they suddenly hitting me now? You know how many times I've run through here without getting hit once? Now these guys are hitting me like crazy. I also have lower HP than usual, but still. Okay, but I did not press the jump button there, so I don't know what that was all about. Like, why did they jump just then? Oh, maybe it's because I'm jumping down here. Because normally I go all the way to the end, and then yeah, that's that extra bird. I get an extra bird chasing me than usual. Okay, that must be it. What the hell? Sure. This is going too perfect. Suddenly I'm getting attacked no more than I normally do, and then I get a jump button that I didn't actually press, and then whatever the hell that was, somehow perfectly hitting me at just a perfect angle to just push me off. Like, okay, well, thankfully, as stupid as all this has been, between the loading speeds of playing with the PS4 version instead of PS... Actually, no, I don't think it... What the hell? Why is everything hitting me this time? This is ridiculous. Oh crap, those are going to go off just as I get there. What the hell? God damn, that was super annoying. I was being knocked around like a pinball. Like, first time ever, well, okay, I won't say first time ever. I've had crazy example. I've fallen a few times there. Usually what ends up happening, though, is nothing to do with the birds. So the lightning bolt goes up just as I'm jumping across the cliff. So, but whatever. Like I said, there's always one. Although in that case, it ended up being more like 3. But there's always one stupid... Oh, shit. Shit. Just because he's annoying. He hits me with lightning bolts as I'm crossing. I just want to get rid of him. Okay, I don't need you. I do need this grace, though. Stupid stuff can happen here, so I gotta be quick. Oh shit, Bloodhound's... Or, I should say, disengage would be really useful here. Oh, well, so would feign death, but doesn't actually feign death. It's not actually a thing. It's just an emote to lie on the floor. It's not really gonna work. I should, you know... Well, when I have... Maybe I'll try it against Malcath. I mean, I know it's not gonna work. I'm not saying it's gonna work. I'm just saying... You never know, there might be some crazy thing happens where it does, like, you'll, like, avoid all my attacks or something. But first, I am going to deal with... I just need this guy dead quickly. He just needs to be dead quickly. I can't mess around with him tonight, so... What can I do? We want... Since I can't summon help against this guy, I can't summon my pet for just no reason whatsoever, so I just need him dead. So I can do the other 2 bosses who I suspect Placidosi Saxy Boy will go quickly. Actually, let's get this summon. Get this going. Hopefully this will take him out quickly. Oh shit. This is not quickly. Not even remotely quickly. Nah, son of a... Sure, of course. Need him dead quickly. Not even remotely quickly. Then again, I forgot to rest. Okay, fine. Since there's no point using arrows without a buffer between me and him, so I'm just gonna go straight. Oh wait, I should be using. I mean, I do a lot of. Okay, I should be using my stupid weapons for a change. The reasons why I did this whole run. Well, okay, no, not. I mean, their abilities are the reason why I did this run, not the Not the whole reason. You know, I had no idea Lion's Claw could do that. I've never known. Now, where is my stupid... I mean, I know Lion's Claw has this whole deal with, like, being, like, high, hyper armor and all this. I didn't know it could, like, damn, I was, like, practically... Well, I won't say he was in stun lock, but, damn. Every time I hit him, and it'd interrupt him. It'd hiccup him. Like, wow. Didn't know Lion's Claw could do that. I mean, that's probably another reason why I'm doing all these stupid these builds to actually play the game. You know. Reminder: until I started doing these runs, I have not actually seen all these skills and abilities that are in Elden Ring. I still haven't done any kind of actual dedicated spell build. Okay, let's get some volcano pots. I should really try using hefty volcano pots, but you know, they're so slow. What is honestly, I'm tempted to just no, we're gonna use the bow. We got them for a reason. Let's try this with... We'll do one round with the dragon arrows, because I won't have too many. I want to see what great arrows the golem arrows will do, but I'll definitely want to poison them at some point. This is going to be messy, all these weapons. So evading is not that important. I mean, it is important, but I don't... Regular dodges are more than enough against him. And the chances I'm going to hit him in a crit point is not likely. Oh, right. Lightning resistance. Where's lightning resistance? Lightning resistance. And let's get that level up. Hopefully I won't get stuck on him. Then again, ending off on him and going to Malakath is not the worst idea. Where's those stupid things? Where's my level ups? I need 100 grand. Is that enough? That's enough. Just going back and forth between endurance and mind at this point, because I need the FP, and the endurance is only because I have too many. I would like to try and move up to the heavier weapons, because, you know, they're more World of Warcrafty really than these lighter weapons, because the World of Warcraft hunters, I think they had dual wield at some point, but I think they dropped that. So they would use large, well, okay, I won't say large, they would use two-handed spears and axes and swords. But because it's World of Warcraft, every stupid weapon they'd use would be gigantic. Honestly, this halberd is more along the lines of something you'd see in World of Warcraft. But I'm also going to use... Well, I actually think my bow setup is fine, but I'm also going to change the armor and eventually go to that Drake armor, which will be a lot heavier, so I'm going to need all that endurance. The actual damage itself, the buffs is the best I got. Okay. You. Stormhawk is certainly nice, but you're a big boy. So actually, I think Deathbird is. Where are you, Deathbird? Deathbird is actually pretty tanky. Well, it'd be nice if we could do Scarlet Rot, but I don't think I've ever seen that work. And there's too much AoE damage. Deathbird is tanky, and those spells are great against large enemies. And we are going to go for... We're going to go for a bow with Egon's Harpoon to see if that will do some damage. Hopefully I can even get close enough to actually use these stupid buffs. Too many buffs, too many buffs. Not what I was trying to do. Get him poisoned, as the poison will keep damaging even while he's flying around. Oh good, it triggered. Yeah, I know that got really messy and not arrowy enough, but I was out of mana, and I should have just restored my mana and, you know, not mess around, because obviously the rain of arrows would have killed him much faster, but again, I don't want to use too many of these. I need them for other dragons later. But hey, it worked at least, and boy, this halberd's actually quite strong. I mean, I always knew about the buffs, but you know, I didn't realize it'd be so great for just plain old whacking things. But that's okay. It's time to move on to the final event of the night. Malakath should be cute. He's a bouncy boy. I can't imagine hitting him with arrows. I just can't. Man, imagine landing too many arrows on him. He's gonna be a fun boy. He's gonna be fun. So let's knock out that bow. I might be able to get some poison off on him, but I have no hope of doing that, really. Actually, this would be a good place to use the damage buffs, but the Holy Great Arrow, but the Golden Great Arrows. Actually, I think I'll save that for later. I mean, he's strong enough, but I really want to save that for more interesting bosses. Plus, I don't think it stacks with this anyway. But you know what? Maybe I'll equip him anyway. We'll have the Lion's Bow on hand regardless. But I think the best bet will be to spam Lions. But you know, it also could be pretty handy to have. You know what? Let's just go with this setup. I want to be able to dodge. Oh, the dodging will be really important for after. And who will be our? You know what? I just want to kill him quickly. Let's do Dean. And if that doesn't work, Scorpion will have the HP to get through the fight, I'm sure. And here we go.
Destined death. I will not have it.
Oh, that was fast. But the damage bonus is definitely working. But I need it. I think the goal here would be try and kill him so quickly during the first phase that all my buffs will still be up by the second phase. Actually, you know what? Let's forget the stupid spear. Get all the damage you can. Wrong button. Shit. Well, it's good timing that this is like the final run boss for the night, because I seem to be hit that point where pressing the buttons don't seem to do anything anymore. So it's a good thing I am here now. Wait, where's the damn bird? Oh my god, it got knocked off the cliff. Well, this is gonna suck. Okay, well, I was trying to get cute there at the end. I should just focused on, because I was actually doing really damn well. But I got cute throwing the stupid volcano pots. Knock the stupid bird off the... Jeez. Too many buffs. Too many buffs. People think this is a great thing to use all these buffs. I do not. I think it's a pain constantly applying buffs all the time. I mean, maybe if they lasted a long time, but they don't. And he knocked the bird off. Okay, you guys are crazy if you expected me to do that whole thing with just a bow and no pet. So, nothing wrong with hunters going into melee. In fact, in vanilla World of Warcraft, melee hunters were actually a thing that not really necessarily very good at it, but they were a thing. That was actually the point of using those melee abilities like Raptor Strike and all that stuff. It was so they could have like some... Well, I always thought that for all the melee abilities, what they were supposed to do was mix in their traps, because explosive trap was actually a good bit of DPS, and you know, throw in poison, throw in explosive, mix in the melee, and they'd have a thing going. But no one used it because, I mean, range DPS was, I imagine, just simply better. So, yeah. But anyway, he's down. There was some shenanigans going on there to stretch that out a little, but I forgot to use... Well, I didn't forget to use Feign Death. I just decided not to try it. It was taking long enough, and this has gone beyond my stream limit, so I didn't want to bother messing around. It was not going to work. He was just going to kill me while I was lying on the ground, but there are plenty of other bosses I can use it against tomorrow night, so come back then. We'll try Feign Death tomorrow night. It's not going to work. It's purely for the fun of it, but it'll be funny if it does sort of look like it works. Anyway, ooh, wait, was I recording that whole time? Oops. I was not. But that's okay. I should have gotten most of it just then. Anyway, be sure to come back tomorrow night if you're enjoying this. And of course, be sure to like and subscribe, and you know how that works. And engage! See you tomorrow night. Good night, guys.